Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard! Kai Havertz in the Champions League final! Ivanovic! Yes. In the middle, it's just behind him, but it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver! Matic takes the net off! Hat-trick hero! Cole Palmer wins an epic, sensational game!
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode...
Well, we're into the semi-finals. Oh, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. And I'm your host, Mike, and I'm joined in this virtual room filled with lion, and everyone's going, it's Chris. No, it's not. I've got Ollie, and he was...
Hello.
I was building you up there.
I just thought I'd do what I'd always do and interrupt early.
Fuck's sake. Look, honestly, unfortunately, this is a Friday show on a Thursday, and that's not the unfortunate part. What's unfortunate is one of the lions is working, the other lion is very poorly. They have caught what is going around the entire UK, the super flu. He has certainly got it. So we wish Chris well, and I'm sure he'll be back for Monday's show. Yeah. We're all right, sort of. I mean, I feel like I've got something in my throat, but I'm all right. I'm all right. Right. What I want to know though, what are you looking forward to this weekend?
It's a quiet one from me, Mikey. It's in the build up to Christmas. Everything's so busy. There's so much stuff going on. What I'll probably be doing is wrapping Christmas presents. That's what I imagine I'll be doing this weekend. What about you?
Well, I break up for the year tomorrow from work. I've got a half day, so made sure I use my annual leave, and yeah, it's quite nice. I'm looking forward to just having a nice Christmas break. I would also say that tonight is Seahawks Rams. It's on at 2 a.m, so I won't be watching it. So the best game of the season. I won't be there, won't be watching it, so that's a bit of a shame.
Please refresh the page to hear the sounds. Please refresh the page.
There we go. The
What
NFL,
on earth is going on there?
that's the NFL bell. It's not working. It's working now.
I like that new sound drop, Mikey. That's a good one.
Is it? The question is though, that sound drop.
It's not like, aura defining.
What does that
wasn't
mean?
Amazing. It defines his aura.
I love that. I turned it into a drop because it's so fucking good. And somebody asked me to, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Aura
It's just
defining. Everyone knows what aura defining means.
Yeah, of course they do. Of course they do. They also know that Games of the Weekend is now up on the card because I haven't gone too niche this week. First of all, Saturday, 8:35 a.m. Set your alarms. Melbourne Derby, Melbourne City versus Melbourne Victory. Down
You're
Australia.
right. Not niche at all, Mikey.
Look, I always happily cater to my Australian listeners.
That's fine. We cater to him. That doesn't mean it's not niche.
So that'll be a big game. For us, it's 8:35 a.m. So you're going to need some coffee for that. And then 3 p.m, I've gone League One. I've gone Lincoln City hosting Cardiff City. It's third versus first. These are two sides that we managed to put in absolutely grim League Cup performances against this season and somehow still won. So I feel that we should give them a good service by watching the game and seeing who is the best team.
Yeah, I'd like to see that, actually. I'd like to see who comes out in that one.
2.5 hours later, 5:30, RB Leipzig, Bayer Leverkusen. The Bundesliga
There's
has
a not
done
niche one. Fucking
not,
hell.
Not really niche. It's done me service. It's done me really good service this season, picking a Bundesliga game. Second hosting fourth. Let's see what happens. Sunday, 1 p.m, we head north. We're going to Scotland. Hearts taking on Rangers. Hearts sitting right on top of the Scottish Christmas tree. And I believe it'd be the first time since like the 80s that a team not called Rangers or Celtic are top at Christmas. So that's pretty cool. And they could stretch their lead over third place Rangers to a massive 12 points for a win.
Ooh.
7 p.m. I'm going full on continental because you can round off the weekend with the opening game of the AFCON. Morocco are facing Comoros. I think that's brilliant. Though I've been looking, I was expecting Hakim Ziyech to be in the team. I don't know why. He doesn't have a club. It's like, oh, he's not playing. Oh.
What a shame for him.
I just remember him and I think, oh yeah, is he playing? Well, he doesn't have a club, so I don't know how he's going to play for. Oh, he does. He plays for Wydad. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Sweet. But he's anyway. He's not gone. So that's the end of that. Shevva shoutouts. We have got some great picks from what you have been saying in the Spotify comments about our last episode. We've got Tristan who said, "Hi, Mikey, host. Thunderstruck Athena has aura. She is in my starting lineup for Ultimate Team. Up the Chelsea. Good win against Cardiff. Crap first half. Much better second half. Let's get this win at Newcastle." Yeah, I love the Athena card.
It's not like, aura defining.
What does that mean?
Amazing. It defines his aura.
Well, I think Athena defines her aura. She's a very, very incredible card on FIFA. P. Sargent enjoyed this pod a lot. Listened to all of them, but it felt like a proper debate this week. I decide with Ollie and Chris. I think Berth and Mike for very carried away, but very, very entitled to an opinion. As a Villa fan, I hope Palmer is just unavailable for the game against us, but plays every other game, as he'll be vital for England, in my opinion, this summer. Cheers for the hard work on the pod. Merry Christmas all. I believe that's Berth's friend. It took me. I think it is because of the Villa fan, and I remember I've brought that up before, going, "Oh, that's out there."
I was going to say, why do we have a Villa fan who listens to this show? Either way, welcome.
Yeah,
part
always
of
welcome.
The show, friend of the show, always.
Now this chap, this is a friend of the show, Rye Guy. Best Chelsea pod always. Thank you. Love that you guys can openly debate and discuss games. That's a sign of a pod worth listening to when the entire panel doesn't agree, but can still debate, joke, and take the piss out of each other. Love what you guys are doing, and always appreciate when Chris brings in his coaching experiences. Up the Chelsea boys. Well, thank you. And
it's nice to have that with Chris, because there's a little bit of practical experience there, which the rest of us don't have.
That is true. We also had a disagreement in the group chat today about Maresca. So, and yeah, Chris had his.
I'm sure you can see how that went.
You could see who had what opinion. But I can say thank you as always for your reviews, thoughts, and everything else. If you want yours read out on the show, just head over to Spotify and drop a comment on this episode, and we'll make sure to shout you out on the next episode.
But only if you say nice things. Now, sometimes even when you don't.
Yeah, we'll put you in. A quick shout out to our partners heading the game who have some brilliant upcoming sessions starting in January of the new year 2026. They are running multiple completely free programs focused on combining physical activity with mental well-being, all in that supportive, no pressure environment that you know and trust. First up, it's their 12-week men's mental fitness football program. It's a mixed ability space where the scoreline doesn't matter, but the conversation does. It's open to men aged 18 or over, completely free, and a great way to build a healthy routine for the new year. That's starting on Monday, the 19th of January, 2026. It's at 8 p.m. at Hurstmere School, 3G in Sidcup. And they're also running free flexible football with mental health support at Lee Academy 3G in Erith. Whether you want to just talk or just play, you'll find a very welcoming group of lads and a very, very great atmosphere. That beginning on Thursday, the 15th of January, 2026. And it's at 7:30, so no pressure, there's no cost, just football and support every week. What more could you ask for? And finally, for anyone aged 50 or over, maybe your dad, your granddad, your nan, your mum, Head in the Game are launching a fantastic new Yoga for Living Well program. These sessions are gentle, social, and designed to help you get active, meet new people, and just boost your well-being. They run every Thursday at 11:15 a.m, starting the 15th of January at the Bradbury Centre on Reculver Road in Herne Bay. So, for full details and to get involved, head over to headinthegame.co.uk. With that, let's hit the news. Oh, it's that time of the week. We're going to check out news you may have missed in the elevator of Chelsea news. Chelsea will sign at least one new midfielder in 2026 to help cover for injuries to Lavia and Asugo. Tyreek George is understood to be increasingly frustrated by his lack of first-team opportunities at Stamford Bridge and is actively pushing for a permanent move away. Estevao will not be available to face Newcastle on Saturday. He has a small muscular problem. And finally, the thing that got the group chat hotly on its
been very debated today across the internet, but also in our group chat.
Enzo Maresca, high among candidates Man City are considering in case Guardiola exits next summer. Now, it's a shame Chris isn't on for this, so we might do it as well on Monday. We might do. This report did come from David Ornstein, so that's me treating it as a fact, because when he speaks, I listen. This one actually bothers me. because I'm sure Man City will have multiple names on their shortlist if and when Guardiola does walk away. You're going to have Alonso, you're going to have Company. I think that's quite a big name to have. Names like that will obviously be in the mix. But the fact that Maresca is even being mentioned raises alarm bells for me, especially given how this week's played out and this season has played out. Now, this is my concern. I can already picture a scenario where Chelsea's ownership are more than happy to negotiate a compensation deal with City because it represents a pure profit boost on a manager that, let's be honest, they may no longer want to work with, particularly if Maresca is now pushing back and feels he deserves more say in the squad building after, realistic, he's delivered success, 2 trophies. And obviously the sporting directors are remaining rigid and married to the idea of youth first model. This is where my lack of trust comes in, Ollie, because I don't trust this ownership. I don't trust the sporting directors.
Couldn't trust them as far as you could throw him, could you, Mikey?
I don't know. I'll go to the gym. I feel like I throw him.
Maybe you could, but I
couple of meters. Look, I just don't trust them to replace Maresca properly if he were to leave, because it won't be an elite proven manager. Stop it in the... Oh, we could get Glasner. We're rumored... No, Indy Kaler linked us with Oliver Glasner, people. Come on. Real sources here. It's not going to be an elite proven manager. It'll be another project. Someone like potentially Leroy Rossignol type profile, or another up and coming head coach with little to no experience in the Premier League. And it'll be sold to us as the next big thing. The project moves on. It doesn't need a top head coach. It can adapt with any coach. And we'll be in this cycle again, because let's say it's the best scenario. This is what I want to put out there. Let's just say Leroy Rossignol or whoever it is.
You mean Liam Rossignol?
Sorry, Liam.
Not
Liam
Leroy.
Not Leroy.
His name's Liam.
Liam, sorry. So you never know. There could be a Leroy out there. There could be a Leroy. That could be our next manager.
If there's a manager called Leroy Rossignol, we're more likely to hire him, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Look, if they win trophies at Chelsea, they too rightly will go, I want a bit of a say on how we're building this team.
Yep.
And the sporting directors will be silent. They'll go, this is a project-led team, not a manager-led team. And this is what frustrates me the most, because I've seen Chelsea from when I was a little kid. So memories for me about 2002, just early 2002. So I've seen the late Ken Bates era. He's not dead. I'm just saying it's the late era of his reign. And then the Abramovich reign, and now Clearlake. What frustrates me is Chelsea no longer feels like a club that's driven by winning on the pitch. I feel that the priority now seems to be profit on the balance sheet. Managers, players, even stability just feels expendable as long as the numbers look right. That's how I feel. It really annoys
but then you've
me.
got issues around the sponsorships and stuff and the stadium and all sorts, and you think, well, is it being run right from a numbers perspective? It seems to matter everywhere. The numbers only seem to matter on the pitch, and everywhere else it doesn't seem to.
Well, it's only tonight. It's not breaking news because it was about 54 minutes ago. Saint Etienne in Liga 2 have rejected an initial offer of £7 million from Chelsea for 17-year-old striker Dillian Nguyen. There we go. But that's the thing. He could become a great player. He could. But again, 17-year-old, you can see the model. And people are going, yeah, because we'll build superstars. I'm sorry. I had this debate on Twitter that, because when I said about, we'll get some random South American wonder kid. And they were like, yeah, Esteval. Yeah, Esteval is he's a one-off. He's a unicorn player. The unicorn, again, I said about it, Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo, I don't count as great signings under the sporting directors because they were proven players that cost big money. You already knew what you were getting there. Whilst you look at Esteval, always a risk. However, that's the only one. And Palmer, you could say other South America. Well, we've had Kenji Pies, who's after that first month at Strasbourg has not done much. You had Angelo. You had David Washington.
Remember him?
Great. Where are they now? Oh, they're being shipped off. This is what I mean. Well, we made profit on Angelo. Oh, great. Yeah, great for the balance book. I'm just, no. And of course we're admiring Rossignol because he's already in the Blueco model. I don't buy this. I don't buy it. And I find it frustrating because we are very used to winning. Roman Abramovich gave us that. However, we can't just drop off and go, oh no, it'll be all right now. I don't like how we are run in the sense of we're always looking for young players. I know we've won the Club World Cup and the Conference League. More so the Club World Cup being the bigger trophy, the more harder to win trophy based on the quality of the opposition we played. It just still worries me. It does worry me. I don't know how you feel.
The thing is with me, so I don't mind this sort of news coming out. There's sort of speculation a little bit as to whether this is coming more from the club side or more Maresca's side or what's going on. Whether it's his agent or Jorge Mendes, whether it's like you say, Maresca himself agitating for a move. And the thing is, for me, is I'm not like I'm going to refrain. I'm going to refer to what I was saying before. Is that and I've said it a few times now. I'm ambivalent on Maresca. I think I like the guy generally. He's not super personable. He's a Chelsea manager who I think at the end of the day maybe he'll be a bit forgettable. Maybe I'll be wrong about that, but at the moment I don't feel that is the case. But my problem is, again, Mikey, is like you were saying, is around the sporting directors. If you sack him, you have to get someone better than him.
Yeah.
Who's ready to win now, who's ready to sort to work with the good players we do have. And then you've got to give them time and you've got to give them players that they want as well. And the whole thing resets, and it just takes away from the accountability of what the sporting directors and the owners are trying to do, saying, oh, well, now it's another 2 seasons, another 4 windows until we can be ready to compete. No, we want to be ready now. I'm not saying you have to hold on to Maresca forever, but if you're going to get rid of him, it has to not be a sideways move next. And I just don't trust him to do that. I don't trust him to go for a manager who is going to be proven and want to win us trophies, because now he's going to be the 3rd manager who will have walked out on this on this thing, because on this club, because of the way that that things are being run and the environment's just untenable for a professional. So the way I'm looking at it is, it's just like it's another symptom of the rot at the club now. And it's fair to say as well, like, we can't dump absolutely everything on the sporting directors and the owners. Maresca has had his part to play in some of the things that have gone wrong this season. But I do think that getting rid of him would be a mistake, because it just puts us back to square one again. And then and you're crawling up the ladder by your fingernails after that. And I don't know. For me, it just feels like a way to kind of relinquish all the responsibility from the sporting directors. If Maresca goes, they have to go as well. That's how it is for me.
Don't think it matters. And I'm saying this out there to anyone listening to the show. Whether you are Maresca in or Maresca out, it doesn't matter, because letting your manager go to Manchester City is not a good look.
But look at it, right? Look at the opportunity.
There's a reason they're looking at him as well.
But sure, there's a reason they're looking at him. But there's also a reason Maresca would say yes, because there you can get proper investment, getting the players that you want under a proper sporting structure, a team that's ready to win things now with established superstars, rather than and you get to have a proper amount of say in the team, rather than just having all these players handed to you who you don't want and having to work the best of it. If you ask any manager in the world what they'd rather do, that's going to be their opinion, isn't it? Like, they're all going to want to do that. They'll all prefer that, because the way we run the club at the moment isn't conducive to having a coach who wants to stick around, and that's a problem.
It really frustrates me, because it will have been under this ownership, we'll have seen, if we're not counting Tuchel, we should. We'll have, let's count him. We'll have had 4 managers pass through this so-called project with no title challenge or even a chance at the Premier League. That would have been Maresca, Pochettino, Potter, and Tuchel.
And
I don't think it's their fault. I think it's the director, because they're going to do this whole youth-led model. I'm sorry, I said it before. You're changing the shape of the wheel because you can, because you think it's going to be nicer. Experience and youth has always worked. You do a mixture of the both. It's always worked. It always has.
For me, I don't even necessarily mind the model. I don't begrudge it. I begrudge the lack of nuance in it. And the thing is, for me, is, like I say, they're not going to get in anyone better, are they? And at some point you have to start looking back at the ownership now and going, right, so like 3-4 years in this ownership now, we've bought these players, we're building them up, we've had a few managers, Any trophies anytime soon? Any like title challenges anytime soon? That kind of thing. Going deep in the Champions League, winning an FA Cup. Any danger of that soon? Because you at some point you have to start asking questions and saying, listen, this is what you've tried to build, and so far all I'm really like it's like telling someone you're going to build a house, right? And 3 years later. You've got some foundations, and you've got a few load-bearing beams and a stack of bricks here and there, but the rest of it's all just blueprints. It's all just, Fugazi. It's just nothing. And, you'd rightly go to someone who's building that house. Where's the rest of it?
Yeah,
And that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm kind of saying, listen, if certainly, this season, I know no one's expecting to win titles and things like that, but next season, my God, something has to be happening by next season. I think a lot of people are feeling that way in a sense, but I don't know. Does it look like we're going to be there next season? Not the way things are going at the moment, and not
because
with the drama we got going.
But we are not. The aim of this ownership, I keep saying it. I want to be proven wrong, but I don't believe it. Our ownership model is buy low, flip for a profit. I'm convinced. I know someone's going. I'm convinced if someone was to offer big, serious money for Palmer or Esteval in 1-2 years' time, I don't think it would be an instant no. I'm very scared by that. I don't, because it's well, we can replace them because we've got someone cheap. It's like, oh my word. We'll see. There's no point assuming and over worrying about something that might or might not happen.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if Maresca wants to go, you probably don't want someone around the club who doesn't want to stay. You do have to question why that is. But if he does want to stay, then the story's kind of irrelevant. But I don't know. There's no smoke without fire, Mikey.
Exactly. Oh, we are heading to Kingsmeadow Corner because Chelsea took on Wolfsburg in the Champions League and it ended Wolfsburg 1, Chelsea 2. We are through to the quarterfinals, no playoffs for us. And I picked out 2 quickfire winners. No losers, because I just don't think I don't think it would be right. Sam Kerr, first up, winning. Oh, that winning goal, mark of an elite, experienced professional at top of her game, because she lost her marker at exactly the right moment, guided the header into the corner. Calm, clinical, textbook Sam Kerr play. Perfect movement as well. And it just gives some credit as well to Jojo's brilliant delivery. I've got to, if it's not for the perfect weighted ball and Sam's perfectly timed header, it's all part of the package. Mm-hmm. She's really back and firing from that ACL.
She's doing well. She's growing back into it for sure. We're starting to see a little bit of the old Sam Kerr back, I think, and that's going to be really nice. As we spoke about in the last episode, I think hopefully that'll take a little bit of the pressure off Aggie as well, or even push her on to be able to kick on and do even better. I thought Lucy Bronze was really good as well.
Yeah,
she had a really good game as well. Obviously gets her goal, but I thought she was really good outside of that as well. For me as well, this kind of shows an example. Again, it's the Champions League and how that seems to be mattering more to a lot of our players this season. But I also want to point out something that I know we've been begrudging a little bit of Bonpastor's back three. But it worked really well in this game. I really did think it did. And I don't know, maybe it's just when everyone's firing and everyone's up for it on a Champions League night, we can go and win a game against a team like Wolfsburg, and that is absolutely no small feat. Like they are one of the best teams in the world. And so it's a big statement. But it does show that the way Bonpastor's setting up the team does work. So I feel like, in a sense, maybe there needs to be a bit more of a buy-in on the effort from the players' side as well.
Lucy Bronze was my second winner because scored the equaliser, put in a really solid all-round performance. And you know what? I've got to hold my hands up here because I said earlier, a few shows ago, tough questions should be asked next year about whether she deserves a new deal. Clearly, she confirmed to us that she listens to the show and took that personally, and the evidence so far suggests I was wrong, and I'm more than happy to admit
I'm going to shut that host up.
I'm happy to be wrong. I really am. And look, more broadly, Chelsea did exactly what they needed to do. Went to Germany, won the game, secured a top 4 finish in the league phase. No playoffs for us. It's straight pass into the quarterfinals. We're either going to face Arsenal or OH Leuven. The pathway from there is quite obvious as well. It's very mapped out well for us. We've got let's indulge. Not arrogance, we're indulging here. We've won the quarterfinal. Oh, look at that. We've probably played Arsenal. We've beat Arsenal. Oh, what are we looking at now? We're now looking at one of Lyon, Wolfsburg, where we've already beat them, or Juventus. Okay, in the semis. Well, where's Barcelona? Well, that would be the potential final against them. And Chris, he's not here, but he said on the pod before that the only way that you win this competition is either by facing Barca in a one-off final or hoping someone else does the dirty work for you and knocks them out before you face them.
And best of both worlds in that scenario if we're not going to face them to the final. You've got either chance there.
I'm a happy boy. I was really happy with that draw. And I know you say, well, yeah, but to be the best, you got to beat the best. I don't care anymore. I don't care. I just want to win the thing. It's not about getting, the best,
It's not about winning it convincingly at this point. It's about putting it in the trophy cabinet and putting this whole push on for the Champions League to bed, I think.
Barcelona get knocked out in the semi-finals.
To be fair, I don't care.
If we have to play Wolfsburg, Juventus or Lyon in the final, again,
To be fair, I don't care.
I just want to see Hannah Hampton, Millie Bright holding the Champions League trophy at the end of this domestic season. That's what I want to see. We might be there. We might do it. We might. Now, from one trophy to another, because we get to head to winners and losers, because we took on
segue.
We took on Cardiff City in the energy drink that you have never tried cup.
Toss helping it on, João Pedro helping on to Garnacho, and that'll do for Chelsea.
Race here could do wonders for him, right at the death, some tired legs and minds, and he takes advantage.
Cardiff City 1, Chelsea 3. It's a game that you yourself, Ollie, said was the best game you have ever seen in real life on the 16th of December 2025. Nothing else compares to any other game that's ever happened on that day, that exact date. It's a big...
Honestly, my God. Picked a hell of a game to go and watch,
Mate, I know the feeling. When I went to that Wolves game, we were cruising at halftime. We all know the story. And I'm like, this is nice. I'm chilling. And then the second, I'm like, I don't like this. What the hell?
Not chilling anymore. That's how I felt in reverse.
Oh, my word. Winners and losers. Who have you got? How many have you got?
It's 3 and 3 for me.
Fair play.
No reason to overcomplicate it. No reason to make Berth angry.
Fair play. I went 2 and 3. It was a struggle. I got there. I'm gutted because Chris is not going to be here because my first winner was Aliano Garnacho, and what a game!
He was on mine.
I'll say what a game. He became the first Argentine signed from Manchester United to score 2 goals in a single game for Chelsea against Cardiff City.
Wow.
Historic milestone. That
honestly, maybe he might be the best player in the world.
I honestly, when I found that stat out, I just thought this kid special.
He's something else.
Look, I put my jokes aside. He scored the 2 goals that ultimately got us through this cup tie. That's the bottom line. There's a genuinely decent player in Garnacho. He always creates. He's constantly getting himself into a dangerous position, and he's a persistent threat. And I'm sorry, but some listeners, not all listeners, you'd think that more people, Chelsea fans that I read online, would appreciate an attacker who actually manufactures chances, especially when we look at how much we do miss Nicholas Jackson right now. He might have missed some. He did score some. And I know Garnacho has a punchable face, but he's now our punchable face.
He does have a punchable face.
We should appreciate this guy.
A really punchable face.
If he does it, okay, let's put him away. Okay, he's not on the bench to bring on. We don't win. Garnacho created those 2 goals himself. Yes, he did. I can't help but say there was one moment where we were in a situation where you think you should have just put it in the net!
Yeah, it's from Buonanotte's cross. The best pass Buonanotte will ever make.
Still scored twice.
Life, by the way.
He still scored twice. He's got to be one of your winners.
Yeah, he is. And at the end of the day, that's what Garnacho gives you. He gives you a high volume of chances. And today, not today, but in the game, he took 2 of them. And that's important. It's important for him to experience some clinicality, to sort of know how that feels, to sort of win us the game in and of itself. And in only one half as well, because, he obviously didn't play in the first half. I thought he was very good. Generally, I thought he brought a lot of energy to the game. I liked his comments after the game as well about saying it doesn't matter if we start on the bench or if we start on the pitch. We just want to help the team. I thought that was important. For a guy who seems to be who apparently has a lot of attitude problems. Again, a bit like Sancho, he hasn't had any here yet.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Doesn't mean it's not coming, but you never know. Thought he was good. I don't think there's any more need to really sort of sugarcoat it than that. I thought he had a good game against opposition we should be beating in Cardiff. Took both of his goals well. That's all there really is to it. I think. People are in danger a little bit of overreacting to the performance because he scored 2 goals in one half. You got to remember it was against League One Cardiff. I know they're not League One level; they're probably Championship level, but at the same time, let's not get super carried away.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest shocks of the night was seeing that Callum Chambers plays for Cardiff City. I forgot about him. When I saw it, I was like, oh my word.
Callum Chambers.
Yeah, mad. Who was your second winner?
Second winner for me was me.
Fair play.
Even though the first half was sort of diabolical, really. Going to the football, it's always very special. Even I went on my own. I didn't meet up with any mates or anything like that. And you know what? I had a really good time. Stood, watched the game, sung with all the chants, enjoyed myself, had a burger, had a drink, and then had a nice time. Got to go home. Even if you're a Chelsea fan and you live in another country, go watch the football. Go find a local team near you. Go watch the football. I promise you will enjoy yourself.
Yeah, you're so right. I can't. Even I must admit, as I've got my soft spot for Wolves, of course, from last season and other seasons, of course, and just being in that atmosphere is something different. It really is, and even if you go as a neutral fan, it's really worth it. It really is. My second winner, Pedro Neto, another fan, another member of the Chris fan club. Look,
Chris's other favourite player.
Honestly, I would say this to Chris's face. Pedro Neto could end up as Chelsea's all-time top goal scorer. He could be. No, seriously, hear me out. Hear me out. No, this is a bit of a sentence. This is the important context. He could become an all-time top goal scorer, and you'd still hear some fans questioning whether he's actually any good. Will he ever be our top goal scorer? Probably not. No, it's silly. However, the hypothetical point here is, if he was, I still believe fans would go, but was he any good? Is he the best winger in the Premier League? No. Is he the best winger in the world? Yes.
There's one Arsenal fan on TikTok who does think he's the best winger in the Premier League, and
I don't think he's the best winger in the world. Or in the Premier League. But what he is relentless. He works harder than almost anyone in this team. Every single game, he works his arse off. And like Garnacho, he scored because he created his own chance. He wants it more, and the desire showed. I don't think we should be criticising it. I know people, he runs around a lot. No offence, Chris, if you're listening. Yes, he does run around a lot, but at least he's putting the effort in. I can't diss a man who's putting effort in like that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. You're right. He does put the effort in when a lot of other players haven't, but you really should be the bare minimum that. But the reality is that's not what we're not seeing that. I'm sure we'll get into it in losers in terms of what is the bare minimum. And, it's important to have someone who at least tries to hold a professional standard like that.
Yeah,
100%. And it was a good goal from him as well, even though it was deflected.
I know. It was one of those where the commentary were like, oh, what a goal. I'm like, oh, I've got to doubt what you're saying, Alan Smith, because you also said that shot went nearly wide and went out for a throw.
I know the one you mean, the one that went out for a throw-in.
It was one of those where you're like, not quite. Who was your final winner?
Final winner for me, it's kind of similar. I went with Pedro's, both João and Neto.
Okay.
Because I thought when they both came on, they changed the game. To be expected against the opposition we were playing against, but I thought I'd include João Pedro in that as well because I thought he linked up really well. I thought Gil was all right in the first half, but João Pedro came on and sort of linked the game a lot better.
Okay.
I originally thought it was a bit of a strange substitution at first because, like I said, I thought Gil was all right, but João Pedro really did show his level there against, again, a team we should be beating. But when we started knocking it around like that, Cardiff didn't really know what to do. You had Neto and Garnacho stretching a play on either side with João Pedro through the middle, sort of linking things together. And I thought overall they both slotted in really well and did a hell of a lot better than the players they came on for. So yeah, good for them.
Fair play, fair play. Right, from winners to losers. Oh, I do have three. I'll go my first one. Rotation. Another
Yeah.
game. I feel this is quite ironic what I'm about to say after I'm backing Maresca in the news. Hear me out though. Another game, and it was another completely new 11. A new 11. I'm not joking. 11 changes. And shockingly though, we started like a team that had made 11 changes. We had no cohesion, no rhythm, no chemistry. It was like watching an out-of-tune American Idol audition. The moment that I saw Tosin and Badiashile paired at the back, I just thought this is going to be chaotic. Why? I don't need to see anything more from that partnership to know it don't work. I've moved on. The club needs to move on. Maresca needs to move the duo on to other clubs in the summer. And just to be clear, I don't have an issue with rotating teams. I have an issue with excessive rotation. Again, 4 or 5, totally fine. 7, 8, 9, 11, you sabotage your team from the start. This isn't the Conference League. You can't get away with it. And I know you go to Cardiff.
And Cardiff
you can't get away with it.
But even Cardiff showed a good account of themselves against this side that was heavily rotated. And it just goes to show if that's the case, our backups just aren't as good as people think they might be at the club. Well, that's just a fact.
I don't have backups on here, but I'm just looking at the start. Would any of these walk into another team's starting 11? Jorgensen, no. Champong, yes. Tosin, no. Badiashile, no. Hato, maybe no. Wolves. I'm being honest. Well, yeah, I've got like the bottom half. Hato I could see. Santos I could see. Yeah. Caicedo, obvious. George, Buenanotte, no. Gittins,
no. God no.
Mark Yu, yeah, probably. That's the point. That's a bit of a concern. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just not good enough. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Maresca was trying to prove a point. With saying,
Possible.
Look, this is the rotation. If you want me to rotate, these are the players I have to rotate with, and look, and we struggled with it. I don't really like that if that's the case of what he's doing with that, but I could see his point.
Yeah, if you want to send a message, just send an email or a text. I just can't be asked for this. Who was your first loser?
First loser for me was Buenanotte. My God,
awful half. Did better in the second.
I mean, yeah, better in the second, but my God, like you're looking at a player who, is at Brighton. He did decent, again, God knows why we've got him, in a sense, on loan from Brighton at all. The guy who we've decided to make back up to Parma this season, absolutely baffling to me. But he was abysmal in the first half. He looked like he couldn't pass a ball 3 yards. I sort of did the thing where like you do when you're at the football in the flesh, and you try and watch a player for a couple minutes and just sort of see what they do. I just didn't see anything special from him at all. Like, I was bored watching him. And in the second half, yeah, he did a little better, put some nice passes together, but he's just not on the level, if I'm honest. I'm not sure anyone's going to convince me otherwise at this point. It seems like a really baffling move. I'm still confused by it.
Yeah, it was certainly. I don't understand. There's got to be some reason. There's definitely a reason that we're not privy to, because the loan move made no sense. If it was a loan with an option to buy, you would sort of think, oh, okay, I don't understand it. Maybe I never will. Maybe we don't need to understand it. Maybe it'd be another player that we forget that we ever had on our books. Like Saul or Zakaria.
Remember them?
Remember them? Yeah, they've long since gone on to other things. Second loser, oh my word, from an incredible game against Wolves to being on my losers list for Cardiff. Jamie Gittins.
Oh my God, he was on mine as well. Horrendous.
Did he play? It was an anonymous showing.
Unfortunately, yes, he did.
Numbers.
Honestly, watching him was painful.
You have the eyesight test. I have the stats to tell you, and I'm sure they're going to both be hand in hand because they're brutal numbers. 0.03 expected assists, 0 shots on target, 0 shots off target, dispossessed 3 times, 25% ground duels won, 0% aerial duels won. And the more I see of him, bless him, the more I start questioning the level of the Bundesliga, because this is a pattern time and time again that we are seeing. Players looking elite in Germany, and then they get exposed in the Premier League. You got Florian Wirtz, Christopher Nkunku, Timo Werner, Jadon Sancho. Nicholas Fulkrug, all quality over there. Claudio Pizarro as well. That's a long time ago. He was another one. All they're quality over there. They come here and they all look like they're playing a Sunday morning kickabout of a hangover. I'd be absolutely stunned if what I'm watching right now, with how Garnacho's playing as well on that left-hand side, I'd be stunned if Gittins is still in the squad by the start of next season. I really would be shocked.
I mean, there's no other way to put it, Mikey. He was absolutely abysmal. Cardiff, to their credit, played a pretty high line. Because they've got a lot of possession, apparently the most in Europe, and they're knocking it around a lot of the back. They were doing they were playing some nice stuff. Chris might disagree on that, but fair enough. But the point is they were leaving space in behind. This is one of the only times that Gittins will ever have space in behind like that against an opposition where he's got to be faster than everyone on their team, surely, right? And he looked scared to go past them. He'd go left, he'd go right, then he'd push it central. He would never actually take any of the players on at all. He looked scared. Why do you look scared against Cardiff? You shouldn't be scared. You should be using the opportunity a bit like he did against Wolves. Really, go out there. He's got something to prove. Go have a go. And really take your man on a few times, but be dangerous. Make something happen. That's what Garnacho did. Came away with 2 goals in a half. Mate, I don't know what you're doing here. I'm just watching him at this point, and I almost feel bad for him because of how badly he's playing. For me, he might be, and maybe I'm biased because I saw him in the flesh, and I don't know. When you see things in the flesh, sometimes you see it a bit differently. But it made me think that he was one of the worst players we've ever signed. That's how bad his performance was. Because how are you in this cup game against the likes of Cardiff, who aren't terrible, but it's Cardiff. They're not. It's not Barcelona. It's not Real Madrid. It's not Arsenal. It's not PSG. It's not Inter Milan. It's not Liverpool or Man City. It's none of those teams. It's Cardiff. And when you play that badly against a team who really, he's huffing and puffing so much, I don't know if there's any way back for him. And it's a real shame because we've been sort of saying, will he, won't he? And I'm starting to think he won't.
I just don't get what the problem is when we buy left wing players. We've had Mudryk, Gittins. The best of the bunch is Garnacho. Now that was actually
mental.
Which is actually, no dissing on Garnacho. It's just on paper, that's a shock.
Yeah, it's just not good enough. Again, from a scouting perspective, why did we sign Gittins for all that money? Oh, because the data was good. Well, it turns out the data must be flawed then, because he looks abysmal in this team. Absolutely abysmal.
He just doesn't look. I really want him to do well. I want every player that signs for us to do well. I just don't see the eyesight test and the stats right now. I
just don't see it with him, and it's a shame because he seems like a nice kid.
Yeah.
But maybe it was a move too soon for him.
Yeah. My final loser. It's a short paragraph. It's Moises Caicedo. Shocking.
For the yellow card.
Yeah, spot on. Genuinely, fuck it hell. This is just such a foolish, stupid yellow card. What did he get? Did he get it for breaking a tackle? Was a Cardiff striker? Was Callum Robinson through on goal? No one else. Did he do a quick, a tactical foul? No, he applauded the referee. A sarcastic applause gets him suspended for the semi-final first leg against Arsenal Palace.
Yeah, it's stupid, isn't it?
Dude, if you want to
when you're the captain as well.
If you want to manufacture your own rest days, just ask the manager for a day off. This is stupid. What a stupid! You've been sent off, so you already know you've had a suspension for recklessness. What are you doing? It's not even like it was a foul, and you'd go, that was stupid. But I wouldn't have had him on the losers list if he'd have got a yellow card for a foul. That happens. That's just life. It's playing football. But you literally got a yellow card for your own actions that you had full control over. Come on. Oh my word.
It's really foolish of him. I'm annoyed at him as well because I don't know, we're starting to see a bit of a side of Caicedo that I don't like with his sort of ill-disciplined side of him. He's got to nip it in the bud soon. I don't know if he was just restless because he's not played that much or he's tired because he's played too much or what. But he's got to sort it out for me.
Who's your final loser?
Overreactions.
Oh.
Overreaction, you think?
Go on.
Because I think there's been a lot of discussion that I've seen around the place and online and all sorts, even after the game. And you would have thought that by the way that some people were celebrating, I know we're not the celebration police, but that you would have thought by the way that some people were talking about the club and things like after that about getting into the semi-final, which is good. Don't get me wrong. That we had just toppled some kind of we've beaten Man City or Newcastle or Arsenal like we might face, or Crystal Palace like we might face in the next round. We beat Cardiff. The reality is they gave us a really good game in the first half, and that's really poor from us. We should have really, especially because our players who aren't even doing that well in the Premier League, Garnacho, João Pedro, they brought a few of them on, put them to bed in the second half without really breaking a sweat too much. And especially across like the front line and stuff in the first half, I think we won something like 1 out of 18 duels. Or something like that. I know that. Winning duels as an attacker is not your role, and it's hard. But 1 out of 18? My God, that's poor. We really didn't show a good account of ourselves at all. Now, listen, we got through. That's the important thing in a cup competition, as always. You have to get through. We're in another semi-final. That's a good thing. But if we play anything even close to like that in the semi-final against whoever we play, we will be embarrassed and walked off the park. We can't be doing that. Like that, and what I've been seeing from some people, even to a certain degree, with people singing Maresca's name at the end of the game, I thought that's probably more a dig at the owners from the fans than it is both, sort of praising Maresca essentially for bringing a couple players on at halftime against bringing on £200 million of talent on at halftime against Cardiff. It's. I just want to be guarded because it's like people are saying it was a good win, and I don't know, we did win, and winning is important. Is the only important thing in cup competitions. Don't get me wrong, it's what Chelsea is built off of, but it wasn't a good win. And I don't think it was all that impressive from really anyone involved. Maybe Garnacho gets his flowers, João Pedro gets his flowers, Pedro Neto to a certain degree gets his flowers. Everyone else, forgettable. And including the manager for putting out the team that he did. Forgettable. Wasn't impressed.
Well, let us know what your winners and losers are, listeners, in the Spotify comments. We'll do the emoji review. I went with a thumbs up. We won. That's what matters. We're on to Newcastle.
Shrug, I'm afraid, for me.
Yes,
I'm channeling my inner Chris a bit with my cynicism, but I just wasn't all that impressed with the game. I at the end of the day, we should have put Cardiff to the sword, and we really had to huff and puff to get there. It wasn't easy for us. They're a good side. They'll be promoted. Their way. Excuse me. Had to cough.
We're all like, we're all suffering.
They're way better than than League One. They'll be in the Championship soon enough. But I mean, we should have been able to beat them 3-4, 5-0 with our academy out there, and it just shows how poor the squad building has been.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Right, Lion of the Week predictions. I've fumbled it because I was going to pick Garnacho, as everybody knows, and I bottled it. I
went
lucky
with Esteval, who I was sad not to see in the flesh, but it turns out he's injured, which is irritating.
We all went Gusto. Well, no.
Chris was poor. He lost his man for the goal as well. Really poor from him.
Chris went Mark Yu. I have managed to pull it off with João Pedro. I got lucky. I was going to go Garnacho. I went with João Pedro. He did get an assist. I've got very lucky.
Yeah, I think Garnacho gets the real line, but you win that one, Mikey.
Yeah, he has to. And with that, I said we were on to Newcastle. Shout out Bill Belichick. I have got to play the match preview because we are having a quiet one. We are heading up north on the road to take on Newcastle. So what's the scoop? Well, they're sitting 12th in the Premier League table with 6 wins, 4 draws and 6 defeats.
Never an easy game, though, despite how they've struggled a bit lately, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, they're not a bad team,
especially at home. It's not going to be easy.
It's a cathedral. It's a cauldron. It's a cauldron of noise.
It could be a cathedral.
Could be. Look, what's their recent form? Well, general team form is 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 defeat. So interesting. Player spotlight: Anthony Gordon and Nick Voltemada. Honestly, I'm missing out on Gordon. Looks more and more frustrating by each game he bloody plays. Is what it is. The last time that we beat that lot. Have I got this right? Yes, the last time that Newcastle beat Chelsea was on the 11th of May, 2025. I know. Wouldn't be a UK number one if I didn't tell you what the UK number one was.
What was the UK number one about 6 months ago, Mikey?
Yeah, well, it was Ordinary by Alex Warren, and we know the atmosphere at St James's Park will be anything but. Or shall we just wind them up and call it the Sports Direct Arena?
The other thing that's important to remember about this game is they've just lost a Tyne and Wear derby, the first Tyne and Wear derby for God knows how many years now in the Premier League. Those players will be wanting to prove themselves. I saw an interview from, I think it was Bruno Guimaraes after the game, saying just they all know it wasn't good enough. The fans deserve better, so they'll be really wanting to prove a point and make a statement against us this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Lion predictions. I've gone early and gone Palmer.
I'm not sure who to pick. There are a lot of players who are really struggling at the moment who I usually go for.
Wheeler's gone João Pedro. I like it.
I'll give it to Pedro Neto. No, do you know what? I'll change my mind. I'm going for Reece James. I'll give it for Reece James.
Nice.
With St James's Park, Reece James's Park. Let's hope Let's hope so again.
True. Blue versus who? That we end with 3 questions about the opponent, and I am happy boy because I have planned this. Because I have got Chelsea's last win at St James's Park was on the 30th of October 2021. Jorginho scored a penalty, but which player scored twice for the Blues in a 3-0 win? And I have an audio clue that I've actually vetted, and it has got the name bleeped out.
It's an Odoi cross. Loftus-Cheek was waiting. It's there too. How about that for a finish? That is brilliant. Loftus-Cheek and seen again. Loftus-Cheek strike. Oh wow! He's only gone and done it again. Another spectacular strike from.
Very similar angle and every bit is sweetly hit.
Those were the 2 goals from that day, scored by this unnamed player. Who was it?
Well, I believe that unnamed player is Reece James, Mikey.
It is indeed. Wow, nicely done, sir. Nicely done.
I remember that. That's when we started calling it Reece James's Park, wasn't it? Because of that game. And from the commentary clues as well, they were very similar goals. They're from similar sides.
They were.
Similar angle.
Right, Newcastle famously didn't break their transfer record for 14 years after they signed Michael Owen in a club record deal from Real Madrid. Which player did they sign that broke that record? It was 2019. 43.5 million euros.
2019. Is that before they got bought or afterwards?
I can't remember.
It must be before.
Yeah, I think so.
Before. That's not easy. How much do you say? 43 odd million?
43.5 million. He was bought from a league that we consider fraudulent.
Ooh.
I do.
French league, is it?
I don't consider that league a fraudulent league. Not right now. Not at the moment.
La Liga?
No.
Oh, the Bundesliga.
Bundesliga. Shout out to I love Germany. I just think their league, just when they come to the UK and play in the Premier League, they seem to suck.
I don't know. Is it Fabian Schär?
No. Oh, good shout though. No. It's a player that was considered a flop and now is not.
Ooh. No, do you know what? It's not coming to me. Sorry, not got enough ball knowledge.
Joel Linton.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Reinvented from a striker into a midfielder and did a decent job of it.
You are now, I think Chris would have been good at this one because it's former Blues in order of when they first joined Newcastle. You've got Demba Ba, Patrick Van Aanholt, Damien Duff, Jeremy, and Scott Parker.
Can you say those again for me?
Demba Ba, Patrick Van Aanholt, Damien Duff, Jeremy, and Scott Parker.
Oh, this is tough. Let me think here. I'm going to say first, I'm going to say Scott Parker.
2005, correct.
Yeah, he feels like the furthest back. This is not easy here. Because there can't be that big a gap between the rest of all these players, I think. Jeremy, second?
Third, he is 2007.
All right. Second, 2005. I'm trying to think. Demba Ba, I think he was a bit later than that.
So you've got 2005 Parker, Next player is 06 and then Jeremy 07.
06. I know. I don't think Duff was that early. Was it Patrick Van Aanholt next?
2009.
Right. So it was Duff then.
2006. Surely. And then Denver
Duff,
Bar,
then
20.
Jeremy, then surely Patrick Van Aanholt, then Bar, right?
Yes, 2009, 2011.
Yeah.
So we'll move to Quaresma's questions. This one's such a shout out for you. Such a shout out. Walton Fricht says, please each define your aura, partly to prove what aura is. Look, it's what atmosphere you bring. The atmosphere you bring around you.
Yes.
Like, is it high energy? There's some, especially with, I could pick out a number of players in the NFL. You would go to war with them. You would run through a brick wall. It would hurt, but you'd still do it. It's kind of one of them. I think we had one in Rudiger. That's not really the question. That's what what's our aura? So I'm now
What's
going,
your aura,
Rudiger,
Mikey?
I don't know. I can be chilled, but I like to think I can lead a team. I like to think that I can bring the energy. I'm very much, you look after your team. Your team is
I'd go to war with you, Mikey. I think we'd all die, but I think I would go to war with you.
That's true. There's two of us versus whoever we're going to war with. So
very true. My aura is it's quite easy, really. It's interrupting people.
You're very good at that.
Aura. Yeah,
very good at that. I was just looking because we did have Christmas questions on the good old Twitter. I also, before people say this was recorded as BBC Sports personality is going on, I have voted for Hannah Hampton. I don't know if she's won. I really hope she did. I think it'll be Lando Norris. This again was recorded at 8:28 p.m. when I'm saying this, so it hasn't been announced. I think it'll be Lando Norris. I really hope it's Hannah Hampton though.
I hope it's Hannah Hampton as well.
Yeah. Oh, the other question was about Esteval not playing. Well, we now know why he had an injury, so I think that's pretty fair to say that.
It's a shame that, a little sort of muscular problem like that, it's a bit worrying. Where, as a player like Esteval, he's a young guy, shouldn't be struggling really with the physicality. Maybe he is a little bit with the adjustment. Maybe
he's
players
a fun
just
player
do have
to
these
watch.
little knocks and things. But yeah, it's a bit of a concern that because if he's not fit and Palmer's not fit, our attack is. I don't want to see that.
Yeah. Right, listeners, we're at the end of another episode. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. Before we go, don't forget we are proudly partnered with Head in the Game, the mental health charity using football to support wellbeing in the community. Find out more at headinthegame.co.uk. Treat yourself well. We'll be back on Monday because we have got winners and losers from Chelsea and Newcastle. So until then, that'll be us signing off.
You've been listening to At The Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At The Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.